Ironwood Games. This is Andrew. Welcome back to our Midweek Magic Phantom Sealed. I went ahead and tried a red-white build since we had some of those white rares that we liked. Where were the other ones? And wanted to see those. The Fabrication Foundry didn't make the cut. I really don't like this build. It feels like we didn't have the artifact support for it on it, so we went kind of low and aggressive. But I want to run it and see. It had some hard cuts and some other things, and definitely I'm not like excited about this build. I do think what we had in the other games was a better deck. Just in terms of curve and what it was offering. And I think this one's gonna likely to end up in situations where it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't feel like it has really a plan to get through other than kind of tap down a few things, go wide, and or chip away in the air on it. So, well, we've got a turn 1 play. We've got potential turn 2 play. Just because this is better to keep around, I don't want to just get picked off right away. I think just setting up the draws. Do we want 2 lands? No, but I would like the 3rd land guaranteed. At the same time, we are trying to... I'm going to put them both on the bottom. Likely we can draw another 1 or another 2 or a land. We don't want to flood out. This was trying to be low to the ground and turn sideways in various ways, not just in attacks, but in other things. So there we go. We did draw a 2-drop. We can keep Cosmium Blast up, if nothing else. Yeah, that's good. Tithing Blade is good. It's just to sack something. Or we get a Guide Wing. We'll just play that out. Yeah, that's good. So we do want to keep in mind that we did put the 2 lands on the bottom, so we haven't drawn a 3rd land yet. I could put out the Sunscribe, but I'd rather hold up the Blast and just clear his thing. If we get, which we will eventually draw another land. I think this is fine because having 4 lands doesn't let us play this. Cosmium Blast this just as a land, even though this might be a better target for it. So we did draw a land, and it was a Plains, which lets us play all of these out. And tap, tap, tap. Actually, no. Don't tap this, because this triggers a thing, and then we have a blocker here. Yeah, we'll keep Minecart. Almost any non-land we'll keep on top. Oh, we get the scry off of that, so I guess we could have tapped that and kept this up. With, like, Cosmium Blast being a thing. Starving Revenant. So our opponent has some good things. Yeah, Arctic Gnome. I think they've got a more interesting build. While we could play Minecart and start making treasures on the next turn, I think Tote to get us 3 artifacts on the board is just really good. is a great type of thing to craft with this, if we so choose. And we will 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll keep that on top. I guess if we were like to scry the first land to the bottom, then the second scry is good. We can scry through 2 lands. So we're not blocking the flyer. We'll hit for 1. I guess it has vigilance as well, so we could still choose. Here's a case of, you know what, we might as well, while we're at it. So they're gonna have a 4/4 that they can attack with. Yeah, I do want to keep a 2/2 blocker up. We know we're gonna keep that anyway, so we don't need the double scry. And that way it holds back their 1/1. Join the dead. Perfect. Okay. So they get to kill our all-star that we've put a lot of work into. And they can choose one of these 2 things. It's an interesting choice with the ward gone. I think making the treasures is less good, but it is something I can play where I definitely need 2 lands to get that. Yeah, we'll just take all of these. So we could craft. So we have options here. We could craft getting a 1/4 that then blocks that, and we have 4 to block this. And I think that actually might be the best, while gaining the 3 ice off of that. Nope, we'll just hold back blockers here. And see, because we can also block here, grasping shadows. Attacks alone, yeah. Death touch and lifelink. Yeah, that's fine. We're still gonna triple block it and just get it off the board. Unfortunately, that means we don't have anything to sacrifice to our Dusk's Rose Reliquary. However, I think we're... No attacks. Fine. And this is kind of that situation I think I anticipated, of where we're just drawing low-cost things, cheap things. Like, we're not aggressive enough to be a low-cost deck. It doesn't have any 4-drops. And then this is just gonna finish us off while we're sitting here with nothing. Just kind of waiting to get into more 5-drops that we don't really have. So yeah, this is fine. It unfortunately, the death touch needs to 2-for-1 on us, and the lifelink, and we're just gonna die to this. But we did, at the very least, get our 5th land to put out Gold Fury Strider. Yeah, we're gonna just die quickly to all of these things. Yeah, they have enough life gain that the loss of life isn't bad for them. This is interesting, but kind of late to do anything. Yeah, I think we're dead, because what we can do... We need another artifact, and then we can make a dinosaur token to sack to this and exile something, but... yeah, we're just gonna hold up blockers. We're gonna die in the air. We're gonna die to this. Like, we are pretty dead. Our opponent did have a pretty solid deck. So I'm not going to say that this deck was just bad. But it did put us in a spot I expected it to be, where it's not doing much. I think even had we kept one of those lands or the two, we might have put a little bit on the board a little earlier. But then we just get into the spot just that much sooner. Yeah, we have to. Well, we don't have to. We can do that second, just for the correct play. Since the 3/4 or the 3/5 is tapped, we can get in for 3 damage. It doesn't matter. Something of theirs. Which, yeah, we then sack this. Get a dinosaur, we play this, we exile this, we get our cart back to our hand, but really we're dead in the air, so it doesn't matter. This only triggers once, and so yeah, that was it. Let's play another one just to see, but I feel like it's not the greatest of decks, but yeah, if you guys are seeing it, I'll put up the build at the end, just to look at it at the end of this video for you guys, in case you have some thoughts of how you might build this red-white a little bit better. There were some choices and some cuts I had to make that just none of them were things that wanted to get cut. Because everything was kind of medium, that like everything wanted everything else, and I wasn't excited about it, or I feel like that the Naya one we did settle on, the other one at least I felt like was the cuts were hard, but the overall deck still felt good, and looked strong, and this one was just kind of like which of the various piles of 23 playables is the best version of medium. It was how I felt about it, at least. And so we could have abraded there just to like cost them the door. I don't think that card does enough to be worth the abrade. Seeing as they have like Descend, it kind of just lets them get it into their graveyard maybe even faster than not. So here we have choices. We could Plundering Pirate, we could Envoy, or we could Landmark, hold up a Braid. I'm gonna do that. It lets me have the Scry 2. We don't need the 5-drop yet, but I do like it. We know we have our 4th land. We can get a we can get a treasure and play the Guidewing next turn, and then off of the treasure we have 5 on the next turn when we draw the 5-drop. Or we can put down the Envoy and hold up a Braid. What have we got? Ushenbach. Is this in the graveyard? Yeah, okay. And that's an interesting, I wonder what they drew. The question is, do we just abrade this now? Might as well. It's gonna ultimately get us where I think we're gonna have to use it at some point. Alright, hang on, I got a call. All right, I think it was a wrong number, so we're gonna go back. Yeah, we couldn't have killed that with our Abrade anyways, so I think we go back to the plan. Make a treasure, play a Guidewing. Cycling Boulder is actually good because it puts more things. You've got 5 in the graveyard. Right now, we're going to take the 5. Because we're definitely at the point where... you're starting to run out of things. So I played the cart. It does. The nice thing with the Guidewing with the Vigilance is when we crew 1, we can attack. It stays up to crew it. If for some reason there's like a 2-3 or a 1-3, even a 3-3 like haste that causes us problems. Okay, that's a really good card. Our opponent has some good stuff. That also doesn't die to Abrade, so we don't mind that. The other option we had to consider that I didn't do was not attacking with the Pirate so that we could crew this up and double block here. The fact that it's a 2-for-1 on ourselves felt bad, and we don't get the treasure off of it. We just lose a lot of potential value on that guy. And the 4-4 in the air is going to be a problem anyways. Because we can't attack now, we can't block that, we don't have artifacts to bring back. I don't know that I want to get a scry. Let's just lay this out. And this is, again, my thoughts also. We don't have mana to, like, fake a trick, to bluff a trick or anything. So anything gets eaten by the 4-4, I don't think it's worth taking. But this is where the couple of things that have the artifact synergy that we have, if we don't get them out before we get all our artifacts out, like, it just doesn't always come through. And so that's, you know, my take on looking at those synergies is, yeah, there's definitely some good things in it. And that's, again, what I mean by that. What pile of medium is best? Is it just go for, like, consistency and get rid of synergies? Yeah, that's good. Or do you... yeah, that's really good for my opponent here. Or do you keep the synergies, the slight synergies you have, with the hopes that if you do get them, you can go off? And I wonder if my opponent risks here or just goes in for, yeah, the 4. I think that's what I would also do, given that I have 2 cards in hand. And that forces me to discard. However, being forced to discard, it might be worth, like, threatening the trade on that. We gotta take the 4, go to the 6, just because if I don't, like, I'm dead if I don't block it. So I either chump here, go to 3, or I double block here to kill it, and you get to take my 2-for-1, and I still go to 6. You gain the life. I don't know what the right answer is. We'll just play out another 3-3, and this is, after this we'll show you that the build as well. Yeah, I get to get in for 1 because you attacked with your flyer. Yay. But again, it's a lot of, like, 3s and stuff, so it doesn't scale up well. It doesn't have the long game, and I think Caverns is a little bit of a slower format where there's not a really strong aggro deck, and you really need, if you're going to play this deck here where it's kind of build up a board and sit back and take some time, then you need those incidental things that ping for damage. Yeah, I have to discard the one card I own, and then to stay alive, chump, chump, chump. The reason, if I put a block like this, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, I'm dead. But the reason I block like this is I have 8 toughness, so they don't get the 2 for 1 off of this. If I do like the 5 and the 2, then the 7 kills both. So I could, you know, do it different ways. I could put the 2 and the 3 in that, but this lets me at least keep a creature on the board and not be dead. But the closest to not dead that we can be. Yeah. Gnome literally does nothing for us. We don't have the mana to play Gnome and craft it. Yeah, I mean, we are beyond dead. There's our land. Let's concede there. Take our defeat. Alright, so let me show you what I put together as this build. And again, if you see something, you know, the red-white that could be better, let's put just the red and the whites on there. Zoom those in a little bit. Well, I wish there was a way to scale it, and I don't know how. But I cut the one of the Sunscribes. Just the 2-mana 2/2 is not. It's an artifact. Like, it plays with other things. On that, we didn't have enough. I felt like artifacts that we wanted to ramp into to make this worthwhile. There's nothing worth bringing back really. That was like, oh, exile other stuff, bring back this amazing artifact. Same thing, I cut one of these just because it's good, but it didn't seem great. We cut one of these because we weren't being super aggressive. Same thing, not aggressive enough, I think, to play this. We cut this, just we had other ways for removal, and it was just expensive at the end. A removal, we only had 1 dinosaur, so it's just a shock. Again, had other pieces, just had to choose something. This one, I think I mentioned the other one, just I don't know. I don't know about this one, and so it tends to get cut. Again, we cut that because if we're not being aggressive, we're just blocking or trading things off, I don't think it's as good. We're not doing any discover really, so we didn't. We cut that one. We cut that one because, again, we're not being aggressive enough, and we're not trying to discover on that. So those were the things we cut out of it, and we left it with this clump here. So I don't know, but wanted to bring that one to you since we only played a couple of games with the other build, and we wanted to. The Phantom lets us play any number of games, so we got a chance to at least run it out and kind of get an idea of whether or not it was good. It played what I would have expected it to. But leave your comments, your thoughts. Maybe you think this is better than it was, and I just had a couple of bad games or didn't give it a chance. We'll find out. But thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave us a comment with any of your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. Bye.